Hey there. Many of you probably saw in the news that last week there was a landmark ruling against the National Association of Realtors, where the Realtors Association agreed to pay $418 million in damages to apparently home sellers that felt they'd been wronged by the industry or misrepresented or their best interests weren't at heart. But the big news I feel out of that ruling was the fact that the way that realtors are compensated and the way the whole home buying and selling process works is supposedly going to have to change over the coming months and years. And I've read the news stories, I've seen the news, and for many of you watching, you might know I was a realtor for 17 years, and I left it about a year and a half ago. I did fairly okay. I don't think I ever loved it, and I always struggled with the fact that it didn't seem to matter how hard I worked or how hard I tried or how much I did. I couldn't impact, I didn't feel I had much impact on the actual sales process of the home. I think the way the Realtors Association had it set up for all those years where the home seller would pay the listing agent a commission, say 5%, and 2.5% would go to the listing agent's brokerage and 2.5% would go to the buyer's agent brokerage. And basically that left my responsibility, other than paperwork, just getting the home listed on the MLS. It didn't matter how many open houses I had or how big my sign was or if I mowed the lawn or not, and I tried everything, or whether I had balloons out on my sign. And believe me, I tried everything. I wanted to help. I wanted to do the very best I could for my clients, either buyers or sellers. And what I kind of was told and kind of over time began to realize, the only issue that impacted whether a home was selling or not was price. And honestly, I was kind of disappointed when I learned that, and I was told it early. It was common knowledge in the industry, and one of the sayings I heard, if your home's not selling, the price isn't compelling, and that was just the way it was. So when I heard this ruling come out, and the ruling now says the seller is no longer required to pay a buyer's agent commission, I'm still kind of confused. I don't know what the industry is going to look like going forward. I don't know how it's going to affect the Realtors Association. I honestly feel good about it because I always felt, and I've done many videos about this, if we're charging 6% commission and my company keeps 3% on a $500,000 house, that's $15,000 to both the buyer's brokerage and the listing brokerage. And I didn't feel that either party was doing 15 grand of work. And I knew there was a problem in the system. And I've again done many videos saying that I thought something was wrong. I do think there's value to realtors, and I do think the process itself is fairly complicated to somebody that doesn't know how it works, and might be overwhelming and might require more than an app on your phone or something like that to complete the process. But the fact of realtors, listing agents charging 5 or 6%, again, on a $500,000 home, that's a lot of money. And the work, what people don't realize is realtors aren't getting rich out there because there's so many realtors. There's there's over 1 million realtors in the country or something, in the National Association of Realtors. And I live in a town of about 150,000 people, and it felt everyone I met knew 10 different realtors. And my job, I felt, as a realtor was convincing you to use me, not your neighbor that's a realtor or your sister that's a realtor or your other friends that are realtors. And I didn't feel that was fulfilling at all. I was disappointed. I didn't want to just be talking people into using me. And then once I get them to sign the contract, just pop the home on the MLS, put a sign up, and host an open house, and hope somebody comes in, a buyer's agent comes and completes the sale. Again, I was kind of disappointed with the process, so I am excited to see that it's changing, and I think it honestly needed to change. I think there's so many hands in the pockets of the real estate transaction. A lot of times, even if you saw decent appreciation on your home, the costs to get it sold were upwards of 10%, the total costs. And that just always seemed too high to me. So I am not sure what it's going to look like as the industry works out these new rules. But I do think the real estate market is broken, and there are frankly just not enough homes for sale. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base and share a few thoughts I had. I think there was a problem in the industry. I'm glad to see the ruling come through. Again, I was a realtor for 17 years and made a living off it. But I also knew there was a problem, and I'm glad to see somebody else recognize that, and that hopefully changes are going to be made, and hopefully buyers and sellers are going to be able to complete the sales process and do it with lower expenses. So I don't know if that was clear or not, but I did want to share a few thoughts as a guy that was a realtor for 17 years and had posted a bunch of videos about the industry before. But I am happy to see that ruling come out, and I hope it works out the best for everyone. I know there's a ton of hard-working realtors that are trying their hardest, but I did know it was a tough industry, and I felt artificially tough because I think the way the process was set up was restrictive and wasn't best for the consumer. So those are my thoughts. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. I hope you're feeling good. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.